having fun on a summer day. It's food coloring fun. And this video is not sponsored, even though I do use commercial products. My name's Julie. We're painting yarn today, and my co-star is Mr. Marcus Antonius Anubis. Hi, I'm Julie, and I love everything related to clothing, fiber, textiles, everything. Today I'm dyeing with food coloring, which is so much fun. It's non-toxic, it's colorful, it's messy, somewhat, and I would love to have you come along with me. So let's go. I need wool or wool blend yarn, paste, food coloring, plastic wrap, water, all kinds of other things. They're all right here. You can pause it to read it all, but these are the supplies you need. None of them are toxic. This yarn that I'm using is Galileo Sport Weight yarn, and it is available from Knit Picks online at knitpicks.com. It's 50% merino wool and 50% viscose or rayon from BAM. It starts out in this shape. You buy it in this shape. It's a commercial yarn, and I'll put in the description where you can find it. This is not a sponsored video, but when it's in this shape, if you just unfold it, it comes out in a nice circle like this. Now, the only problem is it's only tied in one spot, and that's under the tag here. So I put ties in 3 other spots around the circle so that it doesn't tangle as I'm handling it. So the yarn's been sitting in a pot of water with some citric acid added to it to make it more acidy for an overnight period. And then over to the side, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 food colorings that I have to refill. I'll do those and get the plastic wrap down and then get a picture and then get some more video. Okay, so I'm pulling the yarn out of the acid water bath, and I'm wearing gloves because this stuff stings like crazy. So I pull a skein of yarn out, fold it up, and squeeze it out. Once it's squeezed out, I put it on the plastic wrapped counter. Now this counter is quartz, and it is not porous. So I found out that it doesn't stain. So if I get this stuff on it, all I have to do is spray it down with Clorox. So I'm starting with green on this one, and we keep going. We'll be back. So I've squeezed all 5 colors. I've used red, copper, green, blue, and purple, and squeezed all 5 colors onto my yarn. So now I'm gonna pat it in, and then I'm gonna turn it over because it doesn't always come all the way through. Now I may not want it to come all the way through, and in this case I don't, because I'm kind of going for ocean colors with some sunset colors in between, but there are a few things. I think I'm going to put a little more green on it. My poor cameraman is worried that I'm going to get dye on him. This is food coloring that I'm using, so it is non-toxic, but it can stain. So get that all together. Now I'm going to put 2 more pieces of plastic wrap over the top. I've got 2 on the bottom. I'm going to put 2 over the top and fold it up into a package, and then we'll come back and see how I get it to set in the microwave. Sealed it up in the plastic wrap, more or less. It's in a sandwich. It's as sealed as I can get it. The air is not all out of it, so I'm going to make a snake out of it, put it in a dish, coil the ends, and then we're bringing it over And we're going to put it in the microwave. And I start it for 2.5 minutes at full power. So 2, 3, 0 at full power. When that's done, I'll let it cool, and then I will go back to 2 minutes at full power after it's a bit cooler. Oh no, it's staying on the countertop. Easy to clean. I just get the Clorox spray, spray it and wipe it. We'll spray it with the Clorox, wipe it with the paper. I love this countertop. It just does not stain. Look at that. All gone. After the first microwave round, the package is pretty hot, and what I want it to do is steam. So I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes while I get the second skein ready to paint, or if I don't have one ready to paint, I just let it sit for about maybe 5 minutes. Then I put it back in for 2 more minutes. Okay, so both of my yarns are out of the microwave, both skeins. They've both been microwaved for 4 minutes and 4 minutes and 30 seconds total. One time at 2 minutes 30 and the second time at 2 minutes even. For my microwave, for one skein, that seems to work. It's too hot to really handle, but I kind of lift them up and look to see if any of the liquid in there is clear or if it's colored. This one's really hot because it just came out of the microwave, so I'm not going to worry about that. This one looks pretty good. So I'm just going to leave them to sit and cool. It could take as long as 2 hours. And then they have to be washed carefully so that any excess dye isn't left in them. And the acid water is washed out of them. And then they are hung to dry for about a day, day and a half, and then they're ready to go. So I lied. Quick note about washing and rinsing. I'm running rinse water right now. I said I'd see you after it was rinsed, but right now I'm running rinse water. The thing about wool that most people don't know is you can wash it. You just have to be careful. I don't want the water running right on it, and I don't want the water being either super hot or super cold. You don't want to shock the wool, so you don't want to go from super hot to super cold or vice versa. And right now this wool is barely warm, so I'm washing it and rinsing it in barely warm water. So there's the first rinse. I'll pour that out, squeeze it out, and then do the second rinse. Okay, so I've taken the yarn out of the water bath. I put it in a water bath 3 times, once with detergent and then twice as a rinse. And then I rolled it up in the towel and pressed it. It's really important that you don't squeeze. Well, you can squeeze, but it's really important that you don't wring it out and you don't otherwise really stress the yarn. And this is the wet yarn. I am so pleased with it. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm creating gorgeous, gorgeous colors, and it's all with food coloring. So now I just have to wash the dishes I used and put everything away. I cannot stress enough, this is only if you use food coloring that you can just wash the dishes and put them away. If you're using any other dye, you need to have dishes that are only for that dye and that dye alone. See you later. So I'm upstairs in my workroom today. It's the next day, and these 2 skeins of yarn that I dyed yesterday are beautiful. They're nice and dry. They're really pretty. And one of the things I like about this particular yarn is that wool and bamboo take the dye differently. The bamboo almost never takes the dye, and the wool takes it beautifully. So it gives it a frosted effect. And that's what I want for this sweater. I want the effect, I'm looking for the effect of an ocean with white caps and a little bit of sunset. And this is just looking gorgeous. Okay, so the yarn is dyed and it's dry, and I'm having a photobomb moment with Mr. Marcus Antonius. Look how beautifully it came out. I do love the way that these yarns dye when I am working with wool and bamboo and food colors. They dye beautifully, they're permanent dyes, they're ready to go. So that's dyeing with food coloring. What fun for a summer day. I had so much fun doing this. I hope you loved it, and I hope you try it someday. He's Marcus, and I'm Julie. Hope you had fun with me and are having a great summer with summer fun.